seen him in forever. Oh, you want to start now? Okay, sorry. Sorry. Welcome everybody to This Week in Wrestling. I'm your host, Found Bobbitt. Sorry, I had a little brain fart today. It's been a long day, and yeah, sorry about that. As always on the show, we got the awesome Cold Bone and Miss Tattoo Mistress. How are y'all tonight?
We're doing good. We're doing all right. Doing pretty good. Sitting here watching a little bit of the draft still.
Yeah, same here. Same here. I'm liking who Carolina got, but also on the call we got Trek. How are you tonight, Trek?
Good, man. How's it going?
Doing good, doing good. And also on the call we got Nikki Bella's number one fan, Ronnie. How are you tonight?
All right, you know it. I'm just watching, waiting for this hockey game to start up with a score.
Yep.
Anything you want to start off with tonight, Mr. JP?
I mean, we're just gonna round table talk. We're just gonna talk. I mean, there's little news and notes. I'm not gonna talk about the NXT referee that broke his leg. I mean, everybody's talking about it. He broke his leg. He finished the match. Bottom line, he broke his leg, and he finished the match. What more do you want me to say? I hope he gets better, which he will. It's just a broken leg. It's not like he's gonna have to retire from wrestling now. But the WWE tryouts today. The two notable ones are Lance Anoa'i. Yes, it is Roman Reigns' cousin. And Ivelisse from Lucha Underground. I've seen her wrestle. She's all right. I'm not a big fan of hers, because it's lucha stuff. I don't care. So, I mean, you guys want to talk about whatever. I don't know. There's other tryouts. There's like James Wilder was a running back for Florida State. He tried out. There's a 6'3" female volleyball player that tried out. And another MMA fighter woman tried out. So they're doing their thing. WWE's doing their thing, tryouts and stuff. Trek, I know you follow.
That's good.
I know you follow Lucha Underground. What Ivelisse? I mean, I could give a shit. I really don't want to talk about her because I don't care. You're more into that crap than I am. But what about her?
She's actually very well trained. I know she's been in the industry for a long time. She was
15 years.
hoping to be. Go ahead.
No, I just said 15 years.
Yeah, she was hoping to be in the Mae Young Classics, the first and second one, but that's when Lucha Underground started throwing their weight around. Or not Lucha Underground, but the guys at Charge started throwing their weight around and told her she couldn't do it, even though she was very clear to other people that had tried out, but they said she couldn't.
I honestly think that had a lot to do with Impact. I don't think it had anything to do with Lucha Underground. Because all them Lucha Underground guys are are also or were also under Impact contracts, as far as I was being told.
Well, she said she tried out for Impact, and she believes that what's her name? Not is it Tessa Blanchard who's in there? Yeah,
Tessa Blanchard. Tessa Blanchard.
Tessa
What
Blanchard
about?
got blacklisted.
She got what?
Tessa Blanchard apparently got Evil East blacklisted from Impact because she was supposed to start working for Impact, and mysteriously enough, the night before they called her back and said, "We don't need you. Don't call us anymore."
Okay. That okay. That doesn't mean that Tessa Blanchard didn't. Is that an actual thing that really happened, or is it just somebody saying that that's what she did?
Well, she said it, and then there was another person who was friends with Blanchard who said, "Oh, the Evil East talk shit about her," but it's like,
well, that's he said, she said, so I can't really take one side or the other. I think Tessa Blanchard's a bitch, but that's a whole nother story. I mean, I'm not going to take one side or the other. I really don't care. Not going to lie. Because Evil East, I don't know. I've seen her wrestle. She's all right, but I wouldn't say that I would go out of my way to see her wrestle. She's nowhere near. She needs to be in NXT. I'll put it to you like that. But go on, Trek. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
no, it's fine. It's just that I'm glad she's getting a tryout after she had to go through all that crap with Lucha Underground, and even like I know we don't like Joey Ryan all the time, but even he said that they were putting people through shit too. So it's Lucha Underground holding everybody back.
Well, Joey Ryan's. Don't even get me started on him. But anyway,
He might be WWE soon.
He ain't coming to fucking WWE. WWE doesn't want his fucking shit in because they'll water him down and everybody will get bored with him real quick.
Well, they're interested in him.
They ain't gonna let him do that dick flip. They don't want that in WWE. Because people will be chanting, "Do the dick flip." Yeah, people don't want to fucking see that. Not WWE. Especially not Fox. What about Lance Anoa'i? Anybody know anything about him? I know he's related to Roman Reigns.
Yeah, if that's anything I know about it. He was related to that family.
I can talk about him a little bit. Here, just a sec, give me a second.
All I know is if he's related to Roman, he'll main event for WrestleMania for 10 years in a row.
That's not true. See, that's a stigma and that pisses me off. He's a third generation wrestler. He's the son of the former WWE Tag Team Champion Samu. And grandson of WWE Hall of Famer Afa the Wild Samoan. So no, he's Roman Reigns' brother, I think. Could be. I'm not sure. Because isn't Samu Roman Reigns' dad?
I think so.
Okay, so they're brothers. That doesn't mean that he's going to get a push. Because the kid might not fucking pan out for shit.
I thought Roman Reigns' dad was Alpha. Well, Alpha, or whatever the fuck you pronounce it.
Could have been.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know that him and Fatu were tag team partners, and that was Samu. So I think that's Roman Reigns' dad. There's Jana Angel. She was a 6'3" football player at the graduating college. Angel played professionally. And I'm pulling this off the WWE Network, so credit them. She played professionally in France in the middle of blocker position. She also received an invitation for the tryouts for the U.S. Olympic team. I don't know why you are yelling.
Like, I'm here.
Nick Rodriguez, 6'3", 230-pound Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter and former NCAA wrestler from New Jersey. He took the bronze medal at the Abu Dhabi Combat Club's North American East Coast Trials. Former WWE Tough Enough competitor and NXT superstar Ivelisse Velez. So she's in NXT. She's already there. I'm confused by this. So Ivelisse has been in NXT before?
That's what it's saying.
Couldn't tell you.
I'm going to read it again. Former WWE Tough Enough competitor and NXT superstar Ivelisse Velez. That's Ivelisse, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so she was in WWE before. Wonder why she didn't work out the first time. Oh, I know why. 25-year-old fitness model and former world bodybuilding champion Stephanie Ayala from Texas. She will be the next Alexa Bliss. Andrea Benoit, aka Nova of the independent wrestling scene. She's a Canadian that played volleyball in college and has competed in obstacle course races. Trained by WWE Cruiserweight Classic alumnus Tyson Ducks. Benoit. I don't. Good luck getting the Benoit in there.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. They're not related. It doesn't say. So.
I could see it being East or something like that.
So yeah. No, they're not related.
They even said too with that Eva Valise, she was on the Tough Enough in 2011. She was one of the 14 contestants with that.
Yeah. Let's
Uh,
talk.
yeah.
Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? The tryouts, any of the names that pop up? If you go on the WWE, the WWE website has a bunch of them on their whatchamacallit.
Yeah, just with Roman, it's Sika's his dad and his brother, of course, Rosie. That's who they mentioned with his family, and then of course the Tonga Kid, Usos, and The Rock as
Right.
family lineage. So he's somewhere down that line.
Right.
I guess you could segue into Nia with that one.
Okay.
You just
If
say,
you want to.
you want to segue into Nia? She had knee surgery.
Yeah, she's laying in bed. She looks like Kevin Owens laying there.
Yeah. Nia Jax has been dealing with knee injuries, and there's a reason why. She's at home resting. All went well. Already walking with some assistance. Sending so much love for all the well wishes from everyone. Thank you. I don't worry. Benji is my nurse. I don't know who Benji is, and
Her dog is in the picture.
I do not see her dog in the picture. And I don't care. It's Nia Jax. I do wish her a speedy recovery. I'm sorry. I do wish her a speedy recovery, but honestly, Nia Jax, I don't really care.
Hey, she's liable to come back stronger and faster,
And still only be
And
able to
doing
jump
some
2
wrestling
inches.
moves.
Only be able to jump 2 inches off the ground. Yeah, probably. Let's talk about the Shield goodbye. I watched that on Sunday. Whatever. I was okay with it. I don't think Dean's coming back. If he is, it'll be way down the line.
Well, I did see your comment to somebody that wanted to know an opinion if they would be at the greatest show with the Saudi.
Oh, that great? No, no. If they did, I don't want to see it anymore. Enough with the goodbyes. It was a goodbye thing. Enough with the goodbyes. How many times are we gonna say goodbye to fucking Dean Ambrose before he actually leaves?
How many times did we say goodbye to Kurt Angle?
Is he like one of those fucking people that hangs around a fucking, a dumpster and waits for people to drop off food? You just scatter him away like a fucking cat? I mean, come on. I don't want him. We don't need Dean Ambrose. WWE don't need Dean Ambrose. Move on without him. To me, he was bland anyway. His heel run was probably better than his face run, but every time he's been a champion, everybody talks about Randy Orton being boring as a champion. That guy is fucking boring as a champion. He's better chasing. He's like Becky. He's boring. She's boring. She's better chasing the title than she is having it. That's just my opinion. Anybody else?
If they would have let him bring in some of the Jonathan Moxley character at the beginning.
WWE was never going to allow that, though, and you know that. But go ahead. Say what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say.
It would have been better.
But you know WWE's not going to do that. Because they don't want any of that hardcore bullshit anymore.
It doesn't even have to be in his wrestling. I'm just talking about the character in and of itself.
His character needs that hardcore crap. That character needs that. Go ahead, Ronnie. Go ahead.
I was just saying, Austin said the same thing with his Moxley character.
Yeah.
That's how he found him and liked him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of that shit. So, I wouldn't. It probably would have even turned me off even more, to be honest with you. Because he's that that's where he got that, is Combat Zone Wrestling, which isn't wrestling, by the way.
It's ECW on crack.
It is. That's, to me. They get some gems out of there, and they thought that Dean Ambrose, who is, he was a gem coming out of there. They found a diamond in the rough. They just,
Sam Crow came from there too.
Who?
Sam Crow.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, but even, I mean, with pairing him with Seth and Roman, I mean, you kind of got some usage out of him with the Shield characters.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he wasn't a total waste, but yeah, as a singles competitor. And then, of course, Renee's still there. So, I mean, he is going to still be around.
Right.
He's just, like we said, I mean, his body's been banged and bruised, and he had that illness. So he's just in need of a break.
Well, he had a break, but anyway. I'm just kidding. Trek, Bobbitt,
Yo.
the Shield. Talk about the Shield. What do you think of their goodbye? What do you think? What do you think is going to happen?
Honestly, I think Dean's done. I think Dean's gonna go back to CZW and
he
just
could.
And just not do a whole lot.
I don't know why he would want to go back to CZW.
It's harder work than the WWE was. Unless it goes back to just a commentator.
Is that what he was? Oh.
I
I know I know one of
NXT
his friends
training.
runs that company, so I don't know. We'll see. Trek, what about you, brother?
I think he's gone. He may come back like years down the road or like that, but he's gone for now. And if he wasn't going to go, if they still held on to hope, if they still held on to hope that the Shield was coming back, they wouldn't have put Roman on SmackDown.
Yeah, that's the thing to me. That's what I get out of it. Totally.
Well, and like I was saying, I mean, if he would come back, I mean, in the capacity of a trainer or down in NXT, could be something that they may use him for. I don't know about talent-wise, for creativity and creative, which they desperately need.
Yeah. I don't think he would fit into what they would want creatively. I watched that good Shield goodbye thing, and I was not. It was just, if they're gonna do that for these guys, they need to do it for every other superstar that fucking leaves.
Technically, it started with Kurt Angle.
Yeah, but they didn't do what they did for the Shield. They didn't do for Kurt Angle. That's bullshit. Kurt Angle's a bigger superstar than them three will ever be, in my opinion.
I mean, I understand if you're retiring. I mean, you've been in the business 10 plus, and you're physically looking to retire.
Mm-hmm.
I can see them doing the one last match, but for everybody that's leaving, I mean, people get tired of being there, or people want to go elsewhere. To do it for everybody just because they're leaving, I think would just be, for me, I mean, I wouldn't want to see it for anybody else that isn't retiring. I mean, retirement to me is you're not going to do this anymore. You'll be behind the scenes, or you'll be within some capacity as an ambassador or something like that. But to physically stop wrestling altogether, which we don't know with Dean, but it wasn't I'm retiring, I'm done with wrestling, blah, blah, blah. It was, you're just not going to see the Shield anymore.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. I just, I don't know. Which leads us into the next thing, Luke Harper. Now, gonna say this. WWE has the right to not release any talent they do not want to release, and they can extend them because they have an exclusive contract. They do not, it says it in their contract, I'm assuming, and that's how WWE can do it. If they want to sit out for 2 years, the WWE will hold that contract for 2 more years. That being said, that's 4 years that that person will be sitting at home. Yes, WWE has the money to pay their talent, but I think they're ultimately going to use Luke Harper. I think that's why they're keeping him. What they're going to use him in as a capacity, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Anybody else want to weigh in on this? Bobbitt, sit up if you're falling asleep. Sit up. Bobbitt! Yep, he's gone. Trek?
You know, he just came back, so I'm not surprised they're saying, you know, sorry, we're not going to release you. He just came back. They must have something for him if they're not going to release him, because otherwise they'd be like, okay, you're under 90-day non-compete. So they weren't, you know, people have been telling me he's going to go to AEW. I'm like, no, I don't think they have any interest in him, and I don't think he'd go there anyway. I think he'd go home and rest, and I think they seriously have something planned for him, and they don't want him to go.
Yeah. The AEW thing, can we not bring that up right now?
No.
I'm just kidding, I don't care. I don't think AEW, I don't know, they might have interest in him, but we don't know that. I mean, who knows? They might. I think he's a great talent, but I don't think he's that great. Those big men, they're hit and miss. They're hit and miss with me. The Undertaker is really the only one that I can think of that is ever been really panned out as a big man, to be honest with you. But yeah, Ronnie, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, the same for me with them not releasing him. I mean, I jokingly said it Monday that he saw what they were doing with Bray Wyatt and he didn't want to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there just could be another avenue that they could be using him with. But I mean, you're screwing yourself if you're just going to sit and wait it out, knowing that you're going to have that extension. And the longer you sit out, I mean, the less people are going to remember or have any interest in you down the road, is my opinion. And I know we all have that. Everybody's going to AEW. Well, AEW is not taking everybody that is
so here
leaving.
I'm gonna say this, and this is the same thing with Sasha Banks. Look, think about this. You own a wrestling company, and Sasha Banks is out there. She works at WWE. And she's upset. She wants her release. Now she's not showing up, which I don't think is true. I don't think that what she's doing is. I think they put her on, give her mind a break. You know, get her away from stuff right now, and then bring her back. But let's say that she is not gonna wrestle. Let's say that she comes out on Twitter and says, "I'm not wrestling for WWE anymore." That looks really bad on her. Yes, she's a great talent. That really looks bad on a talent when they do that. If I was running a wrestling company, I don't care how talented you are. If they aren't getting their way, I think that's ultimately what everybody's thinking with Sasha Banks. And if that is true, why would AEW want a talent like that? Why would a startup want a talent like that? That at the first hint of them not doing anything with her that she doesn't agree with, what's to say that she's not gonna? I don't want to be here anymore.
Right,
That's what I'm getting
her way, yeah, then I'm leaving.
Yeah, I don't want to be here. You aren't using me.
Highway.
Yeah, you aren't using me the way I envisioned. Well, it's not your vision, honey. You signed a fucking contract. You need to abide by that said contract, or we're just going to sit you. We're not going to use you, and we're going to let you get old on our roster. That's what I would do.
Well, and the thing with that is, yeah, I mean, she does come back, and they know that she's done. I don't know if this was part of what was going on with her last year too, where she was back and forth, and of course with injuries. But to them, they could say, okay, yeah, we're going to do this, and then they could just start using her like a Dana Brooke,
Right.
and then that'll really piss her off.
Right. Yep. Bobbitt?
Sorry about that. I didn't realize my microphone was muted. I'm sorry.
We're talking about Luke Harper.
Oh. Really have nothing much more to add to it, honestly.
Okay. All right. Which leads into another one of the Wyatt family. Let's talk about the leader of the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt. I do not ever want to see that fucking segment ever again. In fact, there's a report out there, and I don't know if it's true because I haven't really read into it, and I haven't seen WWE put anything out there that stockholders don't want him to. And ultimately, I believe them. I believe the stockholders don't want it. It is borderline psychotic pedophilia, and it's picking on mental health.
Yep.
And I get what some people are saying, that, oh, everybody's butthurt. Well, here's the thing. You got to remember, WWE is a publicly traded company. And at the first sign that crap like that happens, they are going to be put out under a microscope saying, what are you going to do about this?
Fabulous Moolah Battle Royale, people. Just remember that.
Sponsors will pull their shit, and it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with SJWs.
Right. I mean, you got Mattel.
I'm
for
all
kids'
about
toys.
Yep. I'm all about
Nickelodeon.
Yep. I'm all about them trying to tell the story where they're going to go with it. But I don't know. I don't think it has anything to do with SJWs. It's the sponsors, and they have a right to pull out. If they don't like what they're doing, they can pull out their advertisement. And right now, WWE is all about advertising and money. So, with that being said, that segment actually sucked. I'm like, but here's the thing: they're gonna keep doing the same thing over and over again. It's exactly the same thing they did with the Woken gimmick or Broken gimmick or whatever. They kept on showing the same thing over. Remember when they did it and they started out where they had Matt Hardy come on there and just laugh for about 30 seconds. They're just repeating the segment over and over again. I don't want to see that. Yeah. It's killing the creativity of it. Because you can do so much with it, but you can only go so far.
Right.
Bobbitt?
Yo!
What say you about the Bray Wyatt segment? What we were just talking about.
Oh, Jesus, that fucking thing. Look, I never want to see it again, and I was more confused than I was anything else.
I get it. But what do you think? Do you believe the story? Do you believe the story that they're going to pull, that the stockholders want them to pull the storyline?
I do.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Yeah, that's totally believable.
I believe it.
Yeah, it's totally believable.
Trek, what about you?
I'm not surprised that they're upset with it, but what I've heard, that they got a better response than they did in the company than they did for that. That's why they re-showed it on Tuesday night, because I guess people were coming to kind of play, but I guess that other people in the company liked it more. And we all know who the head honcho is who's going to approve this shit. So it's gonna be up to him. We could say we don't like it, but if he likes it, he's gonna go forward with it.
Well, that depends. You got to remember, he answers to the stockholders. If the stockholders and sponsors start pulling their shit, he'll drop it.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, I remember Bruce Pritchard had said that too.
He'll drop it. He don't want to lose money. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, like Heather said, I
Hell
mean,
no.
they did with the Moolah. Snickers was ready to pull.
Yeah. What, Bobbitt?
Oh no, I was agreeing with you about the whole lose money thing.
Yeah. Ronnie, do you have anything to add? Or
The only thing I was going to mention is after 8 years, Dean Malenko that worked backstage, like with Arn Anderson and that, he's left the company.
yeah.
And then, yeah, he's no longer with them. And then the other thing that pulled up just a little bit ago, there was the Schilling, Dave Schilling. He just was started there 2 months ago in creative, and he's also left. I don't know if he worked closely with Dean, but yeah, they're both gone. And then, of course, then the other thing that came out with Dean is he's going to be at AEW Starrcast.
Yeah, I don't care.
Oh.
I'm sorry. AEW can.
No.
How do we know that Dean Malenko isn't part of the problem?
I was gonna say maybe he took over Arn Anderson's job and let Alicia Fox wrestle fucking high off her ass.
Could have.
No.
He could have.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna say this right now. She needs to be released like yesterday.
Yeah.
That was bad. We were sitting there watching it. It was me, Gina, Basement, Heather, all of us. We're sitting there watching it, and most of you guys in the chat, you're sitting there watching it, and I'm like, is she high? Because she can't be drunk, because they wouldn't have let her go out there if she was drunk. So she had, either she was high or she was that out of sync or out of shape. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be harsh right now about Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, when she started botching, Becky Lynch made herself look bad in that match. Becky Lynch should have tried ending that match like yesterday instead of carrying it on. The referee should have said, I don't know who was in the back watching it, but they should have said, we got to finish this shit. Because somebody was going to get... Becky Lynch almost got fucking hurt.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Your champion almost got hurt by somebody that hasn't been in the ring for 2 months and has been known to go to the ring high or drunk. They should have ended that match right there on the spot. And they didn't do it. They failed. So Alicia Fox needs to be let go now. If you're going to help her get her treatment, but do not let her back inside of a WWE ring. She is a liability.
Brother.
Everybody shits on fucking Sasha Banks for being a liability inside the ring. That right there, she is a fucking liability. Big time.
Yep.
Really? Go ahead, Ronnie. I'm
I
sorry.
was going to say the other thing too with that is they're all in the gorilla position watching that too, and I mean even the referee to me should have had some sort of
Well, he did.
sense too.
He did. As soon as Becky got the disarm her on, he
finally called the
and
match.
that was at the
She
very
wasn't
end.
tapping out. She was no-selling that.
Right. But I mean, even that, with them all watching that in the back, and two, I know that he's got the earpiece.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, that should have been ended relatively quickly.
Yeah. Totally agree. Anything else on that? I almost forgot. I was going to talk about that. That was one of the big things, but I didn't. Who did the Packers take? I didn't even see.
There need to be repercussions for this. She fucked it up big time, and she's been off for a month, and she comes back to this. It's like you said, Becky almost got hurt with looked like a hurricane run. She almost dropped Becky on her freaking head.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's the segment I'm talking If that's all, we'll talk about the last thing tonight. Jesus Christ, this kid. Kevin Owens. Jesus Christ. Kevin Owens. Everybody is like, I don't understand why he turned heel. Well, who else is Kofi Kingston going to face?
Daniel Bryan's out with injury.
Daniel Bryan. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I was going to say Daniel Bryan's out right now.
Apparently, I don't know who told me that. Was that you, Trek? Why don't you tell me what you heard?
That I think it was that they were going to keep him a good guy, and then Daniel Bryan was supposed to come back, and he was supposed to face Daniel Bryan, and they were supposed to have Kevin Owens be, just like us. That's right. He was doing the whole thing with his son, and they eating the pizza and everything like that. And then, like, with Daniel Bryan getting hurt, then all those plans went out the window. We don't know if he's ever come back, so they made the decision to turn.
Well, stop.
Kevin
Slow down. Bring it in. You're jumping over some key parts here. Bring it back, man. Daniel Bryan got hurt, so they're not. Talk about Daniel Bryan getting hurt.
He reportedly got hurt in the match at WrestleMania.
Well, we know that, but you had something to add to that.
That he may be suffering from his concussion syndrome again.
What did you tell me? What did you say about, what is it, Brie Bella? I don't know if I came in. You were talking about how he's showing signs and symptoms of being even worse than before.
Yeah, that Jake DeMarco and I were talking, and he said that he's showing signs, that Brian's showing signs of being the symptoms from before maybe being even worse.
See, I ultimately think Daniel Bryan, if that's the case, he is done.
Yeah.
Thank God. Because right now I could give two. I don't care about Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan to me is yesterday's news. I'm not buying into his whole gimmick thing.
I mean, it was a good comeback story for everything that he dealt with and coming back. But at this stage, if that is the case, and it's more serious, then that's where they need to put their foot down, because this could lead to something a lot worse, health-wise, or into a situation like they had with Benoit down the road, and they don't need that.
Okay, I get it. It's becoming a liability.
Yeah.
I kind of knew something, and I said it. I I can almost guarantee he's not going to be back for as long as everybody thinks. I can almost see that he's done. The Colts traded their pick. Oh boy. I got nothing to say. I just saying. But anyway, yeah, I with Daniel Bryan and Kevin Owens, the heel turn, I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought they were going to do it. I thought they were going to pull the trigger last week, and they didn't do it. But they pulled the trigger this week. I think last week probably would have been a better time to pull the trigger, because it was right.
Well, I'm thinking too, if Big E wasn't hurt, do you think that they were maybe looking to do Big E as a heel turn?
I don't think they're turning New Day. I don't think they're going to turn the New Day.
You never know.
I don't. They're too much money to Vince for them to turn him heel. If they turn the New Day, then they have no T-shirt sales. They're big merch sellers.
Yeah, I know they're big with the kids and stuff like that. Yeah, and of course the Xavier's up, down, down with the gaming and stuff.
Yeah, so right. I don't see. And the reason that I say that, and yes, this is we know that they are really friends in real life, but if they need to go back to, in certain cases, if they want people to start buying into wrestling, they need to stop having heels hanging out with faces on social media. Period. Because Ronnie knows what I'm talking about. Back in the day, the
Yep.
heels rode with the heels and the faces rode with the faces. Yes, they were friends backstage, but you never seen anything. And they didn't let any of the dirt sheet people back there either.
Right. I just remember one time they had a thing in Baltimore, and the one restaurant, which was big, it was Jimmy's Food. They would have all the heel characters. They would have them on like one side, and then if any of the face characters came in, it was like separate. They had like a divider. So like anybody came into that restaurant after that or during that period, they would see they weren't intermingling.
Sorry, Wendy will not stop crying. Freaking nuts.
She's starting to get sleepy. That's the whole problem.
Yeah.
She's tired like mommy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's becoming. It's not. Look, because and here's why. And it's not that I don't think them guys should hang out together. It's not. Here's the thing. Here's what drives me fucking nuts. Is the fans take it way too far. Like I've literally seen some fans on Twitter. Why are these two hanging out? Aren't they fighting? Yes, dumbass, they're fighting. But and then they're like, well, I don't think that they should be doing that. Well, no shit, they shouldn't be doing it, but they are. If that makes sense. They need to go back to the way it was. You want everybody says kayfabe's not dead. Well, the only way to bring kayfabe back is if you stop with social media. If you stop with the social media with these guys, that's the only way it'll work.
Well, you've got the same thing with Total Divas. You've got all the women frolicking in the surf, or they're on vacation together, or they're all having lunch together.
Now they can be on the same show, but keep the heels away from the faces. They're actors. They can do it.
Yeah, because I heard the new one joining Divas is Liv Morgan now.
That's why they're separating her from fucking Riot Squad. Okay.
Yeah.
I figured there was a reason why they were separate. It wasn't because they were looking into her. They just Liv Morgan going to be part of the show. Well, I don't watch Total Divas anyway, so I really don't give a shit.
I don't watch it either.
I think I watched one episode of it, and I sat there in awe of how fucking dumb it was. Go ahead.
I got 5 minutes into the very first episode and said, fuck this.
Yeah.
Well, you're not living unless you watch Total Bellas. That is the...
I watched 5 seconds of that and said, oh, fuck no.
I heard it was coming on TV, and I called the fucking cable network and said, hey, can you cancel E! Network for me?
If they didn't cancel for Kardashians, they ain't gonna cancel for Total Bellas.
Well, my thing was they interviewed like the TMZ style with Nikki Bella. She was going through an airport, or she was going to a photo shoot or something, and she made comment about, because they asked her about John Cena dating this new woman, and she says, all I'm going to say is if she breaks John's heart, she is going to get a rack attack from me. And I'm sitting here thinking, you're the one that dumped him, and you're whoring yourself around Hollywood.
Well, actually, didn't John Cena break it off with her? She didn't break it off with him.
No, she
No,
walked off.
Well, it's
He
because
broke it off with him.
of what he said. So essentially, he said, ultimately.
No, the actual conversation was, she said, I thought I could compromise for you, but I can't.
Okay.
Because she wants children. He does not.
Because he
Yes.
he even kept coming
But
on
he
like
said
today,
that he
begging
doesn't
her.
think that he could have kids. He doesn't want kids.
He said that from the very beginning of the relationship.
I
Oh,
know
yeah,
that.
She
that
said
they won't.
when they broke it off, she said, I thought I could compromise on that and still marry you, but I cannot.
Then why
let
were
myself
people
do that.
on Twitter shitting on John Cena?
Because they're idiots.
Okay, fair enough.
And he's supposed to be joining the Fast and Furious franchise now, since The Rock has broke off to his own gimmick with the Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh, so he's a copycat. I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah, so basically, he's trying to inch into that franchise
He's trying
now.
to get a piece of the pie. Yeah,
Yep.
I see.
But the thing is, with the Dr. Thugonomics gimmick and that kind of style, he would fit perfectly.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
He could be the new Paul Walker.
He could
And of course-
also be one of the cops.
He could be, yes.
Yeah, he could do that. But I mean, you got the animosity between The Rock and Vin Diesel, so you knew when that kind of split off that.
Well, that's because The Rock wanted to fucking take over the fucking franchise, and Vin Diesel
Well, it's
said,
ego.
"Nope."
Well, he's doing it now with his Hobbs and Shaw, so I guess we'll see in August how that pans out. Because that's the one Roman's in.
Yeah.
Which I want to see that one.
I do too.
I want to see it because of Jason
good.
Statham.
You can walk your little happy ass to the fucking theater. I'm just kidding. I ain't gonna go to it. I will not sit down and watch Fast and the Furious. I will not. I can't stand The Rock.
Then you can drop me and Paige off and go do something else.
I will do that. I'll go sit at the bar. I'm just kidding.
With Wendy in the stroller.
Yeah. We've had her in a bar before. It's no big deal.
Yep, I've had her in the bar before.
No.
It's Wisconsin.
Tossing back shots at Cherry Doctor.
Hey, I've seen it. I mean, with Ocean City, the boardwalk, the woman had the actual stroller sitting at the bar, and they told her that couldn't happen, and she moved her seat to the end of the bar where the stroller was actually sitting on the boardwalk, not in the bar, and she sat there and drank while the baby sat in the stroller on the boardwalk right next to her.
I'd do
So
it.
she found a way.
I'd do it. I don't care. What are you gonna do? Kid's not in the bar.
Nope.
I'm not driving. I'm walking.
She corrected what they told her.
Right. Does anybody else got anything? But yeah, I like the Kevin Owens turn. I don't know if anybody else liked it. I know some people are saying I didn't care for the Kevin Owens turn. I did like it, but I would have liked it later.
Ryan had said he liked it, but he would have liked them to have waited just a little bit longer. Before
Okay, so I was going to actually answer that question, but what my question to you, Ryan, is what were they going to do with Kofi Kingston? Kofi Kingston is not holding on to that title. Kevin Owens is taking that title off of him. Because Kofi Kingston is a transitional champion. I hate to say it, but he is.
She's going right for the jugular.
No, she's not even grabbing me. She's just...
Yeah, because they've got the pay-per-view coming up, and then I heard, too, that they're putting the one that they were taking away in June because of Saudi, the Backlash.
It's back on.
It got moved to May.
No. Money in the Bank is in May. They moved the Saudi thing
to July.
No, it's still in June, but Backlash is back on. I think it's a week after.
It's 2 weeks later.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, because I know they said it was going to be too much, and then you also figured too. I mean, June you got Takeover in there,
right?
And then the other thing too coming up, and I know you don't want to talk about it, but you've only got less than a month, and you've got the AEW event at the end of May, and then their other one in July. So well, I mean, for like May, June, and July, it's going to be wrestling filled.
Ultimately, WWE doesn't give a shit what AEW is doing. WWE, if there's an AEW event and WWE's got an event going, they're not going to change anything. You pick one or the other.
Oh no, I was just saying it more for the news and that coming out, because I know you always say, "Oh, I don't care about that. I don't want to hear that." But in less than a month, I mean, you've got that starting up, so that's going to be a lot of talk in May, and then of course the 3 events with WWE in June. And then, of course, then July, again, you've got the AEW that's going to be down here in Jacksonville. So right. It's going to be a lot over the next 3 months with wrestling, kind of similar to WrestleMania's season.
Yeah, the WWE is actually, I can see WWE, they're gonna on purpose, they're gonna change an event to where it's gonna be the AEW is gonna be running an event at the same time.
Same time.
And we'll see. I see them doing it, and they're going to say, you either pick or choose. I can see them doing it.
Yeah, because I mean, right now, I mean, they're still, it's going to be June or October before they get their TV deal. Most of their stuff for promos is running on that Nightmare Family and their All Elite channel, YouTube channel. So that's how they're building this one, I guess, to the.
Hey, did you pee your pants again? Wendy. Hold on a second. Give me a minute.
Okay. Well, yeah, I was hearing people online, and they were saying that they felt the Owens thing was going too fast too. That they didn't wait long enough, and then somebody, I can't remember
Wendy,
who it was, someone that they should have brought up Drew McIntyre to SmackDown instead, and they could have made him the next big contender. Like, you know what? That wasn't a horrible idea.
Right. Anybody else have anything they'd like to add?
No, that's pretty much it.
No.
What, Bobbitt? Go ahead.
I said, no, I ain't got anything to add, bro.
All right. Well, with that being said, everybody have a great night. I'm going to pass it back over to Bobbitt. Everybody have a great night, and we will talk to you Monday. I will not be on Derailed Saturday. I'm tired. I got to get up with Wendy, so.
Oh, I want to get your insight on DB Cooper.
You want my insight on DB Cooper? Here's my insight on DB Cooper. I do not give a fuck.
I thought you were going to say he's fucking dead.
He is. He's fucking dead.
Well, Bobbitt, I voted for Zodiac for the following week. So
Oh
hopefully
my
I can
god.
Same here.
Cool bean.
Hey, do you want to hear my outtake on
Cool.
the Zodiac Killer?
Oh, gosh.
I do not give a fuck.
Alright, with that being said, we'll end the show here. I'm gonna go watch WrestleMania 8 and possibly kill JP. I don't know, but
Good
we'll
luck
see you guys
trying,
next week. Have a
motherfucker.
good night. Peace out. And JP's an asshole. Bye, everybody.
I'm just gonna say this. I never claimed not to be. I know I'm an asshole. No, I am a fucking asshole. I'm a big fucking asshole.